One of the first things we did when we got here is we got this portable shed. It's 10 by 10, I think. Our first mistake we made was we did not put the earth augers down that came with it. We staked it. First big wind, we learned our mistake because we had to put it back together again. And when we added the earth augers, it stayed put in 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It did not come up. So I really didn't expect it to stay, but it did. It's holding, obviously, some of the stuff we brought down from New England with us. Some gardening stuff, feed, which I'm surprised nobody's gotten into that yet because we do have a lot of field mice and rabbits. They did find the sunflower seeds, so those are tucked away in a feed bin, which they should have been to begin with. It's holding quite a few things in here. We found, right after we got here, we found someone selling 55-gallon barrels. So we got a bung kit and some cinder blocks and filled it most of the way up from the campground we were staying on at the time. Now we use the water containers and the water from the water mill to fill it. Hopefully we're going to install a rain system soon, but as you can see, the condensation, the tent is a lot warmer than outside. We're getting close to empty here. We're under half, I think. So, well, maybe not close to half empty. We're about at a third, which these 3 are filled with water. We just filled them the other day from our trip. And that's how we give water to livestock, is this barrel. So it's in the tent. It did freeze, not the barrel itself, but the spigot froze when we got down to 19 degrees. With the wind chill, it was at 0. We were joking that we brought the New England weather with us. I did bring one heated bucket. I didn't think I brought any, but I did bring one. But we don't have electricity, so the closest we have is the generator, and I'm not wasting gas on that. We'll just switch the buckets out like we usually do. I can get water from the camper because same thing, we get water containers from the water mill and we put it in the freshwater holding tank. But one thing I discovered after all that, is that we have 2 extremely high populations on our property, and apparently I guess it's this area in general, and I don't know if there's any under here right now, but oh nope, they all took off running. There are normally crickets everywhere. The last time I lifted this, they covered the whole dark area of the ground. I have never seen so many crickets before in one spot. Oh, there's some tucked into the hay here. I don't know if I'm getting them to show up, but there's some tucked around here. And there was one hopping around. Goats got in here. They figured out they could get under the back. And then I went to move. Actually, those dark spots in the hay are crickets. But I went to move. Oh, there goes one. They are all in the hay. I've never had issues with anything in my hay before, but we are on bare ground. Oh, we have more in here. There's one there walking around, and there's one there. I mean, I have never ever seen so many crickets in one place. And it's not just in here. It's when we stepped outside of the camper, when we first moved it onto the property, you can't go outside barefoot. because you'll step on them all. I mean, we'd walk and crunch. That's how many there are. The other one are grass spiders, which I'm not thrilled about at all, especially because we're in the south, so they get kind of big. I posted one of the bigger ones on Instagram, and they love to live in this hay. I'm trying to figure out what this bug is. Oh, we had ladybugs too. There's one climbing on the hay right there. The ladybugs, I don't mind. Spiders, I mind. And of course, we're in the worst place for them, so. But really, we are so outnumbered by crickets and grass spiders. It's ridiculous. And we haven't even cut half. Well, actually, I don't even think we've cut a third of the property grass, because it grew for a year until we got down here. In the afternoons, webs are everywhere. And I don't mean just, oh, you know, they made a little web on the steps or something. I mean, they're like streamers. They attach to the fencing. They attach to the cars, your face. I mean, it's like they all take flight. And the neighbors tell us that it is the worst they've ever seen it. So we've had several worse since we got down here. One, this is the worst winter they've seen in what'd she say, 5 or 6 years. It's the worst spider migration, I guess, in the past several years. It's the worst, oh, she said it was the worst something else. I don't remember what it was, but it's been interesting. But yeah, I almost want to carry a can of Raid around with me, just for the crickets. I don't want to kill the spiders because they're eating the crickets. But I'm kind of dreading the spring when everything comes live, and I know these spiders are going to be everywhere. We already got, let's see, the room my son's in the camper. They seem to be attracted to white, and they went up on the roof of the camper. And they got part of his vent was loose, and we didn't know it until spiders started coming in. And yes, plural, spiders started coming in. It was unreal. Then we got it fixed, but they could still come in. So then they started coming in the bathroom vent, which when you're sitting on the toilet, it's a good thing you're sitting on the toilet when they decide they want to come in. This one's just staring at me. Hopefully he doesn't jump at me or I'm going to drop my phone. So, very, very interesting. We'll see what happens in the spring and summer.